Good morning to you. It's 9, coming up on 9:20, and we're starting just a little bit early because, again, we have company at the 9:30 hour we were aiming for. And Bill O'Neill is here, all the way from New Hampshire, and he's with Great Basin Team 2. He's the resource advisor, and I will have him give you a brief update on the fire, and then he will get into describing what it is he does for Great Basin Team 2. So, Bill, take it away.
Great, yes, thank you. The Middel Fork Fire Complex is currently at 61,484 acres, 86% completion with 516 personnel. The Snag Fire, 33,436 acres, 90% completion with 169 personnel. And the Goat Fire is 26,467 acres, 43% completion and 49 personnel. The weather update for today will bring stronger ridgetop winds and slightly lower relative humidity. Nighttime recovery will be good with relative humidity at 60%, helping keep the fire behavior limited to smoldering and creeping. The clear skies and warm temperatures continue to drive fine fuels, especially in the lower elevation, possibly throughout the weekend.
Okay, better than raging.
That's true.
Low and creeping, okay. And I'm sorry to interrupt you. Carry on.
No problem. And the firefighters continue to work both on fire suppression and suppression repair as needed, so heavy firefighting equipment is moving from site to site. Please use extreme caution while traveling, especially when approaching vehicles and at intersections.
Of course, we'll do our best. Some of us are not able though. I've seen people drive through here. That's a joke. Don't, yes, be cautious, be wary, and slow down for the love of God. Okay. So the trucks and the vehicles that were to stay the heck away from, really out of their way, where do they come from?
Yep, so like myself, all the way from New Hampshire, the heavy equipment can come from any of the lower 48 states. We have fire vehicles from New Hampshire that drive all the way to California, Oregon, even Idaho. So these rigs and dozer operators, they're from all over the U.S.
Okay, and do they change with each team, or they kind of drop off and everybody takes turns using them? Or?
Yep, they could do a little bit of both, but mostly they're tied to the same equipment, but usually it's 14 days straight that they work through, and then they can go on to another fire from there, maybe a state or two away.
I see. Okay, and so as the resource advisor, the resources you're advising are with regard to vehicles and equipment, and does that also include tools that the firefighters use, and like hoses? I don't know, I'm a lay person, so when I think firefighting, I think hoses. But does that include everything that you?
It does include everything, but the biggest we try to focus on is when these dozers come from other states. They have a lot of mud and crud in in between the tracks, so there's a lot of it. So we really want them to come clean, which is usually in their contract that they need to be clean before heading to another fire. And then we try to do that extra step of making sure they're all washed up before leaving the fire going to the next one.
And that's hopefully to prevent invasive species, like, I've seen at the state line where they inspect water vehicles, kayaks and such. So is it similar to that?
Extremely similar, yeah. We're mostly concerned with plant invasive species, so cheatgrass, spotted knapweed, skeleton weed are some of the bigger culprits, and we just don't want them traveling throughout Idaho, and we don't want them traveling to Oregon and other places throughout the country. So it's very important that they clean up.
Thank you, because I had an issue with cheatgrass in my dog's ear. It was terrible, an emergency thing. So yeah, we want to keep that out of here. Okay, so how does the fire team try to stop or slow the spread of invasive species?
Is
that right?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Like I said, the weed wash is something that when the fire kicks off and equipment comes in, that's kind of one of the first things the resource advisors focus on is getting a weed wash set up so we can get vehicles in, and that's just regular trucks, not just large dozers or excavators, but all vehicles cleaned before kind of going out on the roads on the incident, on the fire. And then as resource advisors, when we go out looking at dozer lines and potential hand lines, we make sure we don't see any invasive species. And if we do, then we'll bring it up to the incident command team. We'll have briefings on it. We'll make sometimes even pamphlets for all the firefighters and says, if you see this, let us know so we can flag it and make sure they try to stay out of the area.
Okay, so not even on the vehicles, just growing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh, well, that must cover a lot. How do you, I wouldn't know how to identify any of that. So that's a whole different line of education you have to come prepared with.
Yep, mostly, and then in my background in the resources and biology, I have a pretty good handle on it. But if it is a new species here, I'm usually briefed on it when I come and have a pamphlet like keep an eye on these two if you're out checking line or anything like that.
Oh, maybe there's a pamphlet you can leave or something. If there's a thistle on my property that I need to get rid of, I'd like to know about that. Okay, so which brings me to the cheatgrass and the thistles. Any species we really need to be concerned about?
Yeah, I think for this one, cheatgrass and spotted knapweed is in a lot of areas, and it's a pretty nasty invasive. One plant can produce about 1,000 seeds carried by us and wind and everything else, and the seeds can stay viable in the soil for about 7 to 8 years.
Oh,
so even
comforting.
Exactly, so that's why they are very nasty to have and to spread. They take hold pretty easily.
Well, it seems like they're here for good then, because I've seen a lot of cheatgrass. Anything in that same line, anything we can do to stop it on our end?
Yeah,
Other than the burn we've had?
Yeah, no, that's like I said, we try to keep all the tools, boots, cars, heavy equipment, everything clean as we possibly can. We only get, if we need hay, we only get weed-free hay. And a big thing too is we get a lot of seeds. So we try to only store seeds local from the area. So instead of trying to go like maybe just a large supplier in the middle of the U.S. to get a random seed mix, we try to get local because it is more native species that we need to plant and that can survive easy out here.
Oh, great. What do you use hay for?
We did for erosion control, and sometimes we put the seeds down. We could also place it on top, just to kind of give the seeds a little extra help in growing and
Right,
germinating.
mulch,
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, great. See, you don't know what goes into all of this. It's very comprehensive. So for the equipment guy who understands about invasive species and planting and mulching, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
So now this is the tail end of the fire is where you come in?
Yep, so we're doing kind of the suppression repair phase, meaning they pretty much have all the lines that they need to contain and control the fire. So now we go through, and that's kind of our assessment when we're going through. Where is slash piled up? Is there any invasive species present? Is it a steep slope? Because seeds and let's see, the weed mats, they also help. The weed-free mats, help with erosion control. So a lot of the dozer lines or hand lines you see kind of going what looks like to be straight up, that helps a lot. So we put all that together, and then we bring back and come up with a plan that the hand crews can help make it kind of, look back to original before the dozers and the fire came.
And also hopefully, when rains come, then you're talking about it washing away potentially, so that probably helps with that also.
Helps with that, and then we add water bars.
What's a water bar?
Water bar helps, so if it's coming down a trail or a dozer line straight down, the water bars divert the water off the trail, so you don't get just a steep erosion of soil and rain and water coming flying out there. So it slows the dissipation and speed of the water coming down.
All right. Well, this is well thought out. There's a lot of detail there. Okay, so how long do you expect to be here?
We usually do 14 days, and then we get a couple days off. And hopefully with this one, there's a new team coming on that hopefully we can just get all the lines buttoned up before it gets handed to the local forest.
Okay. All right. And so that sounds like about the end of it, right? I hope. I mean, weather permitting and
season-ending weather.
What was that?
Season-ending weather.
Yeah, and usually, season-ending weather is like a big rain event or snowstorm comes, and that usually will put the fire out.
all right. Well, Is there anything you'd like to add that we haven't covered here? Bill, let's see. I'm looking over my notes.
Mhm.
Okay, no, I think I'm about wrapped up. Oh, the weed-free hay, yes, you did discuss that. And what they use hay for, how interesting. See, I learn something every day. I thought I knew everything, I say that a lot. Okay, anything in closing?
No, it's just important to note, why we care about invasive species is that, as you can see, sometimes in the hillsides, especially out west here, cheatgrass can take over, and what used to be a beautiful meadow of colorful plants turns into one monoculture of cheatgrass or spotted knapweed, which can destroy about 95% of the native biodiversity.
And do you know if wildlife are eating any of that? Is probably not. Right?
Probably not, and
And-
that's why they're invasive. There's no natural predators, so the birds don't eat the seeds, nothing like that.
And they take over easily, right?
Very
Quickly.
easily, yeah.
Wow, okay, so it's, fire's almost necessary. I hate to say that out loud, but we're past the worst part of it, so I think I'm all right in making that assumption. Not that I wish for it, but that if there's any silver lining, that it keeps tourism low. We hate summers here, many of us anyway, and it also can eradicate invasive species, right? All right, well, unless you have something further, I'm at a little bit of a loss.
Nope, I think that's great. Very beautiful town. First time here.
Isn't it nice?
It is.
We love it here. I'm happier here than I've been in my whole life. This radio station's a great part of that too. So we thank you for all of your efforts, everyone on your team. You're still with Team 2. Right?
Still with Team 2, yes.
Do you know which team's coming in next? Any idea?
No, I do not.
Okay, yeah, you're just here.
Just here.
Like I just rolled in from New Hampshire. I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay.
Just resource advising.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, well, stay safe out there, and if there's anything we can be doing to make your job easier, please let us know. And thanks for coming in.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay.